You know the moment. You're at the parks, you've gone through security, you've gone through the lines, you've got inside, and then you go, I forgot something. Blisters, headaches, chafe, sunburns, we've seen it all. And so today we're gonna cover everything that we pack when we come to the parks so you know what to bring in 2026.
For those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you will know that we've done a packing list video before, and thank you for being with us for such a long time. Our thoughts have changed about some of the items on the packing list, as well as when we released the first packing list video. We young YouTubers, and our videos looked like this.
You're excited. It's your first time. But what do you bring for a day in the parks?
These are the top 5 things we think you should pack for a day at Universal. Although that video might have been kind of helpful, it was trash. So we wanted to run it back, do it again, and make sure that we covered everything that we bring to the park so you know exactly what to plan for at Universal. Let's start with the secret weapon, a Coke Freestyle Cup. The Coke Freestyle Cups are fantastic for spending a day in the park. Not only do you get unlimited refills, you'll have cold drinks all day, hydration in the Florida heat, and you're not stopping every hour for a $6 soda or $6 Gilly water. Man, those add up.
I remember our first time that we were planning for Universal. This little bad boy was something that I was absolutely hyped for. You're telling me that I can get refills all day, every 10 minutes? It's a lot of Powerade, or in Aubrey's case, a lot of Diet Coke. So whether you buy a new Freestyle Cup when you come, like this fancy, stylish one for Mardi Gras, or you bring them back, you purchase it or reactivate it, and you are good all day. These are wonderful for during Halloween Horror Nights when you got some very long events. A key note is that you can activate it for multiple days. So if you're here longer than 1 or 2 days, just activate it for your entire trip, and you'll be good to go with all the Diet Coke you could ever want.
And here is the thing. We thought, oh, we only need 1 Coke Freestyle Cup, and that's it. No, our cabinet at home is filled with multiple Coke Freestyle Cups. We've got our basic, we've got our Mardi Gras, we've got our Christmas, we've got our HHN. We've got a lot, and we use them in the parks, and also we just drink out of them outside of the parks too. In fact, when we come to the parks, and we have buddies that would come with us, our parents, our friends, we let them use our cups because they can activate it. They don't have to pay for their very own one to keep forever. They can just use one of ours and pay a little bit less. Who wins, Ben? Who wins? I think he wins.
Yeah, he's got me. He's got me beat.
The pro tip is to get yourself a Coke Freestyle Cup, bring it with you, and then when you come back to the park, bring it again. Keep using it, because reactivating these are cheaper than the first buy. In fact, I'll have Ben throw the pricing of the Coke Freestyle Cups and reactivating the Coke Freestyle Cups on the screen so you can see.
You'll find Coke Freestyle machines throughout Universal Studios and Islands of Adventures, and they have hundreds of combinations of flavors and sodas. If you want lime and Diet Coke, send it. If you want strawberry lemonade, send it. You want Powerade Zero, which tends to be our favorite to hydrate, particularly on hot days, you absolutely have that available. The only place that you will not find Coke Freestyle machines, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, because there weren't Coke Freestyle machines in the Wizarding World. That makes total sense to me.
It's a muggle drink.
It's a muggle drink.
Now that you know Coke Freestyle's the way to go and you hydrate or die, let's move on to something we learned the hard way. When you come to the parks, the bag you choose matters a lot because you want it to help you. You don't want it to hold you back throughout the entirety of your experience. In our prior video, we stressed how important it was to bring a 3-prong fanny pack. They're helpful, but that has actually changed a little bit. So let's dive into the types of bags that we bring to the park and why some are better than others.
Now, you could bring a small bag, but a small bag is going to limit the amount of things that you are able to carry, and some of those essentials we'll get into a little later in the video. However, they will fit in almost any locker, as well as that 3-prong fanny pack. You can even bring a 3-prong fanny pack on more rides than you can a backpack. Now, on the flip side, you got a big backpack, which ensures that you can carry more than enough things. If you got a poncho, if you got little kids' toys, things like that, water bottles, etc., you're going to be able to fit it all. But then you run into the issue of, will it fit in a locker? So finding a bag that is sort of that happy medium that gets you in the locker and allows you to seamlessly navigate that locker area is very, very important. You can bring a 3-prong fanny pack on almost every ride. The only rides that you have to lock up, even a 3-prong fanny pack, are Hulk and Velocicoaster. If you're bringing a backpack, you are going to have to secure it in one of the free locker areas on a lot of the rides here at Universal Islands of Adventure and Epic Universe.
Ben always carries a backpack with him because he's got his camera gear, and he does have the option of a small backpack or a big backpack. It just kind of depends what we're doing and filming that day. Alternatively, I either bring a fanny pack or this backpack. This backpack's perfect. A lot of people ask, it's from Freshly Picked, and it does fit in the small lockers, so I don't have to pay extra. But if I'm not trying to carry that much stuff with me, a fanny pack is perfect. So it really depends. Look at what you want to do for the day. Look at how much stuff you're planning on bringing, and then pick the bag that works best for you. But try to make sure it can fit in those small lockers. It'll save you a couple bucks. And sometimes when we come to the parks and Ben has his big backpack, or maybe I'm bringing a lot of stuff, I do tend to rent the big lockers, especially the ones at the front of studios or at Epic. They're sporadically around the park at the guest service areas. It's super handy. They're about like $18 to $20 depending on what size you need, and you can use them all day long. It's very handy when you buy a little extra merch than you were expecting. You can go and keep it in a safe place and grab it before you head out for the day.
It's very, very handy when the weather is like today, where it is, one, a little chilly, so you can bring multiple layers and secure them in the lockers at the front of the park or sporadically around Epic Universe, or if it's threatening to rain like that summer, so you can bring your poncho, put it in the locker, bring a rain jacket, put it in the locker, and so that you're prepared for any contingency that Mother Nature might hold. There are going to be some differences between the lockers here at the OG Parks, Islands, and Studios as compared to over at Epic Universe. The Epic Universe lockers tend to be a little bit bigger. I can actually fit my big camera bag in the lockers over at Epic Universe. I can't fit my big backpack in the free lockers here at Islands or Studios. We get asked all the time how to kind of navigate those lockers as well. Here at Islands and Studios, you're gonna need, wrong pocket, something with a barcode, whether it's your annual pass, your ticket, something that will basically uniquely identify you to that locker. Over at Epic Universe, it's all facial scan. So you'll take your picture, it'll open our locker, and then when you go on the other side, you'll scan your face again, and it'll open up your locker on the other side.
Preparing ahead of time and having the right bag that works for you will help you breeze through lockers and ride all those rides like a pro.
If you're bringing a backpack or a 3-prong fanny pack, you're probably going to put some stuff in it, and there are some necessities that we highly recommend bringing to the parks. If you also want to bring an empty fanny pack or a backpack, I'm not here to judge you. You live your life. What do you like to bring to the parks so that you can maintain your stasis?
Welcome to my series, What's in the Bag? Camera gear, phone, Freestyle cup, feminine products, ticket, ID, credit card, hair scrunchies, very important, some pain reliever, nail file, more pain reliever, a single earplug, double earplugs. These are the loops. Big fan of those for HHN season. Chapstick. More chapstick. Our valet parking ticket. Thanks for the Premier Annual Pass, Benjamin. Mardi Gras glitter. And there's no Dramamine, but we're not riding rides today. So when normally we ride rides, I'd bring some Dramamine for Ben. Snacks. Anti-chafe stuff. And an extra pair of sunnies. That's what we have today. Thank you for joining the series of What's in the Bag?
My backpack looks way different than Aubrey's. Let's see what's in mine. I got hand sanitizer because you already know, theme parks are kind of, everybody's touching stuff. There's a lot of railings. There's a lot of rides that thousands and thousands of people are on. Having a little bit of hand sanitizer go, especially if it smells good. Bath & Body Works, shout out, not sponsored, like is a phenomenal way to keep those hands nice, clean, and fresh while in the theme park. So let's see what else I got. Lens number 2.
Oh boy.
Lens number 3. Lens number 4. Leggings, just in case I get cold. Four extra batteries. Cloths, essential for lens wipe downs. And an ND filter. Told you, my backpack is way different than Aubrey's, but having some essentials like hand sanitizer, Dramamine, pain reliever is awesome.
Your bag is probably not gonna look like Ben's, and that's okay. The one thing we're missing today, and honestly, it's rather cold and not super necessary, sunscreen. On a typical Florida day, you're gonna need some sunscreen. Now, it is chilly. I don't have a temperature on my watch, and it is very overcast, but on the regular, I'd say 80 to 90% of the year, you can expect Ben and myself have sunscreen, because although you can buy sunscreen and pain reliever and Dramamine and chapstick, and honestly, I've even seen a pair of underwear or two at the park, those are gonna be way more expensive than just bringing it with you. In fact, there was one time I bought a can of sunscreen here in the park, $18. Yes, it saved my skin, but boy, it hurt my heart. Bring sunscreen, bring the necessary accoutrements that you need so you can have a great day at the park, because the last thing you want to do is spend an arm and a leg at one of the little vending machines paying for extra chapstick. Trust me, I've been there. It's about $6. It's not fun.
We recommend all the time, be sure to check that weather. If it's a hot, sunny day, having a pair of sunglasses and a hat, or if it's threatening to rain, having a poncho and an umbrella can be essential if you're coming to Universal during the summer or during Halloween Horror Nights. If you can't tell, we come to the parks a lot. And so we have seen some crazy things over our park trips.
This next one separates the park rookies from the park veterans. The right kind of walking shoes when you come to the parks will make or break your day, and your feet and your knees. You want to make sure that you've got something light, squishy, walkable, broken in, that you can put miles on, because when you come to the parks on your average day, probably expect about 20,000 steps, easy. If you're going between islands and studios, those miles rack up real quick, and you'll feel it in your feet, your knees, and honestly, the rest of your body. You want to have the best walking shoes possible. And we're not sponsored. If you're listening, Hokas, we'd love to be, but we love our Hokas. In fact, I've got multiple pairs. They are an investment, but also they save my feet and knees every time we're at these parks.
And that doesn't even bring into account if we've got a special event like Orlando Informer Meetup, Halloween Horror Nights, or just long days with Mardi Gras. You're talking 30,000 steps plus on those days. And then you start doing the math of 30,000 one day, 30,000 the next day, 30,000, woof, woof. So if you got bad shoes comboed with a bad backpack, whew, my back is screaming just thinking about it. You people that come to the parks in Hey Dudes and Crocs, y'all are built different.
When I come to the parks, even when we were traveling, when we were flying or driving down here, I would bring a couple shoe options. I'd bring shoes that I could wear during the day when it's dry out. I'd bring a wet option that were Gore-Tex so that I could wear them when it's raining and my feet wouldn't get soaked. And sometimes I just bring an extra pair just in case, because sometimes it feels really good to go back to your hotel room, take that break, and put on a fresh pair for the rest of your night.
And this video isn't even about Volcano Bay or the water rides, but having a pair that you can get wet or you're comfortable having to dry out are awesome in case you want to walk around at Volcano Bay, enjoy that day, or hit the water rides over at Islands of Adventure.
So choose your shoes wisely, my friends, because making sure that you have the right pair that works for you, that is ready for the miles you're gonna get, will make or break your trip.
And the last and final essential packing list item for when you're visiting the parks here at Universal Orlando is the equipment to make sure that this thing stays alive.
At the parks, your phone helps you check wait times. It helps you mobile order. It helps remind you when a wait time drops. It helps you make sure that you have memories and capture pictures and videos and really brings the whole experience together. And I know there are people that are like, I don't want to be on my phone all the time. I understand, neither do I. But also, the last thing you want is to get lost in the park, your phone's dead, and now all of a sudden, over the intercom, they're saying, Aubrey, please report to the Arches. Your family is waiting. They don't do that. But it'd be terrible if they did. You want to be able to call somebody and be like, hey, I'm over here by Kung Fu Training Camp. Where are you at? It's so helpful that your phone can stay charged while at the park. And so with that, we tell people it's helpful to bring a battery pack so you can plug that phone in when it's getting low on battery and stay connected to everything happening around you.
Universal will also sell you a power rod. Now, we did check the prices and they are like $80 for the complete set. Imagine how many power banks you can buy on Amazon for $80.
Just so we're clear, the power rods can range from $20, $40, or $80, but when I saw those prices, I was like, oh, I might as well bring my own. You can bring one with you, you'll have it for the rest of your life, or as long as you don't lose it. And then you bring it to the parks, charge things up, stay online with the world, and in fact, post your experience while you're here. Share it on the gram. You can make the memories while you're at the parks. And some of my favorite memories I got to capture on my phone, and it's really great to be able to look back on them and laugh. These are the essentials that we bring with us to the park that we think you should too. Because if you bring these, it'll keep you from hitting rock bottom. Let us know in the comments what we missed and what you bring, because everyone's kind of got their own go-tos when they come to Universal. If you got anything out of this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help us out, and stay tuned for more Universal content. Thanks for watching. Bye!